Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I'm going to try to achieve the cold winter makeup look. This is something that was trending on TikTok last year and I did not hop on the trend, but I'm going to be doing that for you guys today. So the first thing I start with is the prepping. So I use my Charlotte Tilbury Magic Serum and apply that serum onto my cheeks, forehead, chin, and nose. I massage that all over my face in circular motions, and instead of waiting for that to dry off, I just pull out my fan and use my fan to dry the serum on my skin. After the serum has dried up, I use the Milk Makeup Grip Primer and apply that all over my face, and again, because I'm impatient, I go in with my fan and dry up my face. Next, I go in with my eyebrow gel to hold my eyebrow hairs into place. I'm not going to be doing my eyebrows just yet. I'm just basically prepping them before I put any makeup on. I also just want to mention that all the products I'll be using for this video will be down in the description box, so make sure to take a look at that. Then I go in with my Morphe M536 brush, and I go in using my Nars bronzing cream in the shade Laguna 02. I apply that on my hairline, temple area, and a bit above my cheekbones. With that same cream, I also use my Morphe M173 brush and contour out my nose. After applying all of the cream, I go in with a damp beauty blender and blend out all of the bronzing cream to make sure that everything is just evenly blended and no harsh lines. Next, I go in with Charlotte Tilbury's Hollywood Flawless Filter in the shade 2.5 Fair. I apply that all over my face, and with a damp beauty blender, I blend all of that out. Try not to smear the beauty blender because we want to just dab it onto our face. If we have to smear it on our face, you'll have some weird streaks that you don't want. For this look, you would want a brighter concealer just so your face can look a little bit more paler and brighter, because again, we're trying to achieve that cold winter look. But I don't have a brighter concealer, so I go in using my Morphe M124 brush under my eyes, Cupid's bow, and nose with my Nars matte concealer in the shade Medium Custard. When I apply this under my eyes, I try to put a lift to it just so that my face can look a little bit more lift. And using that same concealer, I just use a different brush using the M453 brush to apply on my forehead, chin, and jawline for a cleaner lifted look. After I am done applying concealer, I use a damp beauty blender on the places where I've applied the concealer to blend it all out and just have an even lifted look throughout my face. After all of that, this is where I pull out my setting spray by Charlotte Tilbury and just spray it all over my face. Then I go back with my beauty blender to make sure it sets well all over my face and we don't have any smears, smudges, or any of that. So for this cold winter look, I went in with two liquid blushes using my Morphe M530 brush with the SheGlam in the shade Birthday Suit, and I also used Selena Gomez's Rare Beauty in the shade Hope. I applied the liquid blushes on my cheekbone, my nose, the top of my forehead, my temple area, and chin. Like I've said before, when you do this, you want to make sure not to swipe the blushes on your face because it'll just leave streaks that we don't want, and that's what we're trying to avoid. So instead, you want to just tap the blushes into your face and just continue tapping and give these tapping motions throughout your areas that you want to apply the blush on. Then going back with Selena Gomez's Rare Beauty Liquid Blush, I apply that on my eyebrow bone just so that I could have a little bit blush up on my eyes, and whatever I have extra of, I just put it back on my cheek, on my nose, on my forehead, and also my chin. For a highlight, I use Selena Gomez's Rare Beauty Liquid Iluminizer in the shade Mesmerize. With my Morphe R36 brush, again, we're going to do tapping-like motions into our skin, not swipe. I apply the Iluminizer on my cheek, my nose, my Cupid's bow, my chin, and my forehead. If I feel like that my brush hasn't fully blended out my Iluminizer on my face, I just really end up using my finger to make sure I buff out the Iluminizer, especially around my nose, on the tip of my nose. Then to set my face, I go in with my powder puff using Huda Beauty's Cherry Blossom Powder. I apply that under my eye, my forehead, my jawline, my Cupid's bow, my chin, and basically all around my mouth. I do that because I want to make sure to not crease later on throughout the day. That's something that I really like to avoid because we do not want any creases. I also apply the powder onto my nose to carve out my nose a little bit, especially because I've contoured my nose. So with that, I just carve out my nose a little bit better, and yeah. Because I didn't have any other brushes to use, so please don't judge me, but I went in with my Morphe M405 brush with the Maybelline Fit Me powder in the shade 130 Buff Beige. I apply that on the areas that I didn't apply my setting powder, in this case my hairline, temple area, and cheekbone. For powdered blush, I used Kylie Cosmetics blush powder in the shade Winter Kiss using the Morphe M530 brush. When I apply my powdered blushes, I apply this on my cheeks, the top of my forehead, and my chin. Next thing I do to buff the Huda Beauty setting powder, I use my Morphe M581 brush and buff out all of the setting powder, and I also go in with a smaller brush to buff out the powder under my eyes and my forehead. On top of that Kylie Cosmetics blush powder, I go in using the Dior Backstage Rosy Glow blush with the same brush I used for Kylie Cosmetics. When I apply this, I also apply it under my eye just so that I could evenly have it spread it out through my cheeks, under my eye, and my nose. Again, to make sure I evenly blend everything out, I go back with my Morphe M581 brush to buff out all of the powders I put on my face. For my eyes, I didn't want to do anything crazy, so I used my Dominique Cosmetics Unconditional palette using the shade Corazon. I used my Morphe M224 brush and applied that all over my eyelid. Next, I used my Morphe M456 brush and I used the same palette in the shade Warm Hearted. I apply that on the crease of my eye and buff it all out. For highlight, I used my Morphe M532 brush with the Bobbi Brown Ella Johnson in the shade Pink Glow. I highlighted the top of my cheeks, my nose, forehead, chin, cupid's bow, eyebrow bone, and the inner corner of my eye to brighten it up a bit. Then with my buffing brush, after I applied all my highlight, I just evenly spread that out and buff my face. Then here is where I go back to my eyebrows and sculpt them out without touching the top of my brow using the Morphe Micro Brow Pencil in the shade Chocolate Mousse. Then I brush it all out with the spoolie and go back using that same eyebrow gel I used in the beginning of the video. I apply that after sculpting my brows to hold my brow hairs in place. Then for lips, I use my Huda Beauty Lip Contour 2.0 in the shade Honey Beige to line my lips. I don't overline my lips just because I already love the shape of my lips already. I just line them up. Then after my lip contour, then I go in with my gloss using the Dior Lip Oil in the shade Mahogany. Just to make sure everything's on my lips properly, I use my finger to evenly spread that out throughout my lip. Because I am done with my face and next thing I will be applying is my eyeliner and mascara, I spray my Charlotte Tilbury setting spray. For eyeliner, I use the NYX Professional Makeup Jumbo Eye Pencil Crayon in the white shade, and I apply that on my waterline to make my eyes look a bit bigger. Lastly, for my lashes, I use the Il Makiage Icon High Volume and Intense Curl Mascara, and I apply that both on the bottom lash and top lashes. And that pretty much sums up today's video. This is my first time trying this out, so I'm not sure how I really feel about it. I honestly just feel like this look looks like my normal makeup routine, just with extra blush. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, comment, share, and don't forget to subscribe. And I'll see you guys soon. Bye!